Hello everyone, my name is Emma, and this is the most shameful story in my life so far. I think it would be close to lots of girls, as it's telling about my first period. I am laughing a lot remembering it now, but at the time I was absolutely sure that my life was over. Please don't laugh at me. I come from a very religious family, and my parents are never keen on talking about physiological or affective matters. My mom loves me a lot, but I think she was terrified that at some point she would need to talk about periods and sex. I guess she has goosebumps even pronouncing the word, and all things like that. I arrived to my 11 years old, being super sure children come from nowhere and just materialize in women's bellies. All in all, I didn't even bother thinking about puberty or my changing body. One morning when I woke up and went to the bathroom, I saw some strange brown stains down there. I had no idea what that could be and got scared. My first thought was that I needed to ask for help from my parents. But the idea of coming out of the bathroom, going to my mom and trying to explain what has happened to me, including naming my intimate parts, was absolutely painful. Asking for dad's help wasn't even an option. I had no siblings to consult, so even being really scared, I decided to wait, and maybe it would pass on its own. I went to school but really couldn't concentrate on studies. I was just listening to my body and trying to understand how grave my condition was. It didn't occur to me to ask the advice of my classmates. It was still too shameful to mention where the stains were coming from. A couple of times I went to the toilet and saw some new brown stains. I didn't feel bad though, so I thought I could wait for some time before panicking. In the evening came the pain, that awful dull nagging pain that any girl knows. Now I knew it was time to panic. I opened the internet bravely and searched for stomach pain with blood. At 11, I wasn't very strong at anatomy and was sure that stomach was wherever in the belly. You understand that an ulcer was the most optimistic option I got. Okay, now I knew I was going to die, but asking for help still seemed too shameful. I decided to sleep it over, but obviously, during the night I didn't get any sleep. I went to school all nervous and panicky, because that morning I had checked and I still got new brown stains on my underwear. My condition didn't get worse though, and I got distracted by my classes after all. Until at math class, I felt something wet and ran to the bathroom. I found Niagara Falls of flaming red blood. I nearly fainted. My hands trembled and I was sobbing hysterically. What I did was run to our nurse's office and claim that I am bleeding. I have an ulcer and I'm going to die. At that point, I was not ashamed to share my problem anymore. At first, the nurse got really scared. But then, as she asked me in detail what bothered me, she was visibly relieved. I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm afraid you are not going to die. You are just having your first period. A what? A period. Don't you know what a period is? She was pretty surprised by my ignorance, but explained patiently what it was and how to deal with it, and also gave me some pads for a start and explained how to use them. Obviously, the news I am not going to die made me totally happy. But as I was going to leave her, she asked me if I could ask my mom to visit her for a talk, in a private way. After giving my mom news about my first period and seeing her somehow embarrassed, I passed her the message from our nurse. I had no idea what they were talking about, and was just enjoying my newly regained healthy life. Only in several years as my mother was telling me about my sexual life, visibly feeling uneasy about that, she confessed that our nurse told her that making talks on physiology is crucial for teens, and that she insisted my mom would overcome herself and find the way to explain some important things to me. I am thankful to our nurse, as now I understand that there is nothing shameful about our body, and if we have some questions we need to ask, not keep them to ourselves.